Hello there, this is Will Woodgate from stacksforstacks.com, and today I'm here to talk about the latest version of TopBox which we're releasing. This is version 4 of TopBox, so the fourth major release of this stack. A lot of new features because we've basically completely rewritten the stack from scratch. There's many more lightbox features now, support for a lot more content types. If you come to the website, which is stacksforstacks.com/TopBox, we give you a full breakdown of what the stack can do. There's a lot of examples you can click on and experiment with, and we've also got all the setup information here for you as well. If you've previously purchased TopBox from us, then firstly thank you very much. The update for you will be completely free of charge. You can obtain the update via your Paddle locker, or you can contact us via email with proof of purchase, and we'll be happy to issue you with a new download link for the stack. If you've not used TopBox before, and this is the first time you've heard of it, then do take advantage of the free demo version we've got available. You can download on the Stacks for Stacks website, and as I've mentioned already, all the documentation for TopBox can be found on this page. Should you have any further questions, then feel free to get in contact with me. So what I've done now is to switch over to RapidWeaver 6, where we'll play around with TopBox, get familiar with some of the settings. TopBox 4 is compatible with RapidWeaver 5 as well, but just for the benefit of this example I'm going to be using RapidWeaver 6 today. And I'm using my free blank theme, which you can download from the Theme Flood website. It just gives us this nice blank canvas to work with. So if you've not done so already, obviously add a Stacks page to your project, open the Stacks library and scroll down the list, and you'll be looking for a TopBox stack. So I'm just going to drag and drop that into my page like so. Now if you've previously used TopBox, this setup will seem very familiar to you. We have a trigger region. A trigger is basically an element which your users, your visitors to your website will click or tap, and that is what opens the lightbox or the modal window. And then we have a separate TopBox content region, and that's the actual content which is going to be displayed within your lightbox or modal window. So pretty simple at this stage. You've got the settings over here on the right hand side. You can control the type of trigger, so we can choose between stacks, which is the default. We can choose to use a warehoused image, which means an image stored online. We can use a local image, which will be an image you're just dragging from your desktop or a location on your computer. Or indeed we can actually use another TopBox, whereby you can only navigate to this particular TopBox using the next or previous arrows of another TopBox on the page. And likewise the actual content, we've got a whole choice of different content types supported in TopBox. Stacks is default, but quite often you'll probably be using perhaps local images, retina images, warehoused images. But likewise we've got support for things like YouTube and Vimeo, which will be a popular feature, iframes, HTML5 media. So there's a whole bag of different things available here, lots and lots of different content types. We've got style settings here, and I will go into these in a bit detail later on. And we've also got some advanced settings here, which will be absolutely ideal for people who want to take TopBox a bit further, do some more advanced modifications and customizations to it. So let's just start by setting up a really simple TopBox. I'm just going to open the Stacks library again. I'm just going to drag and drop text stack in here, and we'll do a text stack in here like so. So we've got a trigger here, so I'll actually type trigger, and we've got our TopBox content here, so I'll just type TopBox content. So this will help you sort of visualize a bit what's happening here. Here we go, so this is our trigger, and I roll my mouse over and I can click on it, and then it opens our TopBox content. So as you can see, it's really simple to get set up. Let's have a go at some images now. I will just clear this out, and what we'll do, we'll set the TopBox trigger to a local image. I've already saved some images here, so I will just drag and drop a suitable thumbnail image to the placeholder like so. And then for our content type, I will choose a local image for this as well. Ordinarily, I probably wouldn't use local images if I was doing a lot of TopBox stacks or a lot of images, because all these images are actually stored within RapidWeaver, and typically RapidWeaver slows down and can become a bit crashy if you give it too many images. it's often a good idea to use the warehouse settings instead and actually upload your images to the web server first and just take the links for those images and reference them in the TopBox stack. Makes for a much simpler workflow and improves stability somewhat and publishing speed and such like. So that's just our basic TopBox setup now. So we've got a little thumbnail image here and we've got a full size image here. And if I go and preview the page now, there's our thumbnail, click the thumbnail and there's our full size image. So that displays very nicely. As you can see, window shade around the edge. If you click the window shade, that will close TopBox. We've also got a close button at the top here. And also you'd find if you press the escape key on your keyboard, that will also close TopBox when it's being viewed in a normal web browser. The title at the bottom here, where it says my title goes here, that's fully customizable as well. I'll show you how to change that. So we'll put TopBox back into edit mode, and that's just here. So just type a title in here like so. So with this Seathrift. Go back, preview. There you go, and see how that updates it at the bottom there nicely. So that's all pretty simple. And what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and add some more TopBox stacks to my page. I've gone ahead and added 8 TopBox stacks to my page now. I've used a single TopBox stack for each of the 8 images I want to display. If I put the page into preview mode, what we'll see is they're all just stacked vertically down the centre of the page. Probably ordinarily you'd have them within a grid stack or column stack. The free adaptive grid stack I make available through the Stacks for Stacks website would be absolutely ideal for laying out your TopBox stacks as a nice responsive grid layout. But you get a general idea of how it's working here, and you can see we can click on each image and it takes us to the full size image very nicely indeed. But one issue you can probably see straight away is I'm having to click an image and then manually click the close button, and I have to sort of repeat it over and over again for each image. And it would be nice if this functioned a lot more like a lightbox. And typically with a lightbox you have a previous and next navigation link which lets you go through a gallery or set of images. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and set up now. Put the page back into edit mode, select the first TopBox stack on the page, and what I'm going to do is just switch on this option here. It says part of a gallery set, and I'm just going to call this new gallery set Cornwall, because these are all images of Cornwall. And I'm just going to go ahead now and put all these new TopBox stacks into this new image gallery. So collectively all these images now, all these TopBox stacks are going to be grouped together. Previously in TopBox you had to manually give each TopBox stack a unique ID and then sort of wire it all up together and chain them together. So, and it was quite a lot of hard work. I did have a lot of feature requests from people asking if we could make it a bit easier, so that's definitely something we've been able to build into this update. You can see I'll just go through and give each one of these a gallery ID. You can only allocate a single TopBox stack to a single gallery, but you can have multiple galleries. So for example, I could have a gallery here of all Cornwall images, I could have a gallery of all Somerset images, and so on, you know. So you can have multiple galleries on the same page, but each TopBox stack can only belong to a single gallery. So I've given them all a gallery ID of Cornwall now. So I'll go back to the page. Nothing much changes here, but when I click on the image, you'll now see we've actually got next and previous navigation links. So very rapidly I can actually cycle through my image gallery now, viewing the images full screen like this, right to the end. And we can go, it does run in a constant loop, but we can sort of go one way and then we can go backwards just as easily. Okay, so that's pretty simple to set up, I think you'll agree. And it does make TopBox now a lot more like a lightbox. Modal windows are typically where you just have one single piece of content open full screen. Lightbox generally employs these sorts of systems where you can click buttons to navigate backwards or forwards. The lightbox is actually remaining on the page. The only thing that's changing is the image within the lightbox. And that brings us on to another important thing that's worth mentioning. and that is we've got quite a lot of style settings here. But if I was, for example, to select the first top box on the page and I wanted to make the window shade red, so we'll change that to 255. If I preview the page now and click onto that top box, you see we haven't got a red window shade. And that's simply because in this new version of TopBox, the last TopBox stack you add to the page becomes the master style. So I'm going to have to scroll down here and select this TopBox stack, and we'll try changing the colour to red on here. Preview the page, and I'm going to click this first TopBox stack, but you'll see that's red now. The reason for this new system is because typically, like we've just done now, you want to have a lot of TopBox stacks on the same page. 99% of the time they all want to share the same styling, they all want to be the same colour, have the same style buttons and everything else, because it just makes for a much more clean and consistent appearance for your end users. So with this in mind, and this is kind of like an accidental feature which has come out in this new version of TopBox, the TopBox stack furthest down your page will become the master. As you can see, we've got a number of different style settings to change our TopBox, so you can customize it to match your corporate branding or your existing RapidWeaver theme. There's a number of different backgrounds you can apply to TopBox stack. These are particularly useful if you're displaying things like text content. Obviously backgrounds don't show if you're just displaying a single image. We've got support for adjusting the speed at which the animations work, like the next and the previous buttons, the rollover effects for those. We can control the border radius and the content padding if we're displaying content types like stacks. We can also change the box shadow colour, and if we want to, we can go ahead and change the title fill and the title text at the bottom of a TopBox stack quite easily. I can just preview those changes so you can see how it sort of takes effect. So again, I haven't changed the settings of this first one, but our title text at the bottom is a different colour because I changed it in the last TopBox stack, which is actually at the bottom of the page here. TopBox has some advanced settings available as well. If we were just to select our last TopBox down here on the page, these are the advanced settings down here. You've got the option to pull in font awesome icons if your RapidWeaver theme doesn't already include icons. Ordinarily you'd probably want to just turn that off because there's no point having multiple versions of font awesome icons in the same page. You've got the ability to customise the error message, the loading message displayed, and because we are using font awesome icons for the close button, the previous button and the next button, then these are fully customisable here. Just to give you an example of the buttons, if we were to go to the Font Awesome website, and what I can do is click onto the icons page, and they've got a section down here of dedicated arrow icons. Here they are, directional icons. So I could quite easily choose to use one of these instead of the chevrons. So let's just say I want to use an arrow circle right. You click the icon and then it gives you the markup here, so I'm just going to copy that to my clipboard, close that window, go back to TopBox, so just paste that in like so. So that one will be facing right, that one will be facing left, and I'll just preview my TopBox stack, and when I click on the TopBox, there's my new button icons showing. These are advanced settings only apply to individual TopBox stacks, unlike the style settings where the final stack on the page becomes the master. With these advanced settings, these all apply to each individual TopBox. So if, for example, you wanted to change the button code, you'd have to do that on all TopBoxes. But a simple workaround to that, to cut down on the amount of repetitive coding needed, is set up one TopBox stack on your page exactly how you like it, select it in edit mode like this, hold down the Alt key on your keyboard, click the stack and just drag it down a bit, and what this does, it actually duplicates the stack and all of the settings which is a nice convenient way to quickly build and deploy a page of multiple TopBox stacks. The other settings we've got available here, just quickly, we've got some callbacks. Again, sort of 99% of people probably wouldn't ever need to touch these, but if you're an experienced RapidWeaver developer or you're working on a very complicated project, these callbacks are a powerful key to modify how TopBox behaves and how it interacts with other scripts or code on your page. So for example, you could have a contact form within a TopBox stack, and you could set TopBox stack to automatically close when the submit button on the contact form was clicked. The final setting as well is the ability to color code. This is just a useful setting to apply a bright background on your TopBox stacks like this, which can be particularly useful in conjunction with gallery sets. So you could, for example, color code all your images in one gallery set red, all the others blue, another set yellow. Video is a popular component to use in web pages nowadays. TopBox 4 has greatly improved video support. We now support HTML5 video, which is video you create and host yourself, and we also have support for YouTube and Vimeo, and those two latter options are probably going to be the best ones for novice RapidWeaver users or anybody who just wants to get video content quickly onto a website. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll down the page a little bit here, and I'm going to duplicate an existing TopBox stack. I'm just going to press the Alt key and drag it up slightly like so. So that gives us a sort of cloned version of a TopBox stack. I'm going to leave the trigger as a local image for the time being. I'm going to leave it in this Cornwall gallery set, but I'm going to change the content to YouTube Vimeo, and it gives us at this point the option to set the link to a video. You simply want to go to the YouTube or Vimeo website, click onto the video you want to embed, go to the address bar in your web browser, copy that link, okay, then come back to your RapidWeaver stacks page, click on set link, paste it in the box, click set link, and then that video is now linked. So TopBox here now is saying we're going to use a local image to click on to open the TopBox, but our TopBox is going to display a video from this location. And the acid test now would be to preview the page. I'm going to click on a duplicate thumbnail here, like so, and that is our embedded video. We just use the normal YouTube video controls at the bottom here. We've got volume, the time, play, pause. We can also change the quality. We've got support for full HD quality, or we can actually click onto the YouTube website to watch the video. We've got lots of TopBox stacks on our page now, but you don't have to give each TopBox stack its own trigger. In other words, you can just have one thumbnail which links through to a complete gallery. And to get that working, what I'm going to do is to leave our first TopBox stack with a trigger, but on all the subsequent TopBox stacks on this page, I'm going to change the TopBox trigger to another TopBox. So if I preview the page now, and what we should find is we've just got one thumbnail showing at the top of the page, but if I click on the thumbnail, I've still got the ability to navigate backwards and forwards through all of my images. This is just a nice way to tidy up your gallery and to sort of declutter the web page. And what you could do at this point, you see, is you could have a different thumbnail showing for each gallery, but give people the ability to navigate down into each one of those galleries to view multiple images or video, and you can mix different content types together within the same galleries. The answer to that question is yes, TopBox is fully responsive and works well across a broad range of different devices, including the iPhone, the iPod Touch, iPad, iPad Mini, and various Android tablets and smartphones too. This on the screen in front of me now is a real iOS device, and this is the Stacks for Stacks website currently viewing the TopBox page. If I scroll down the page a little bit, we'll come to the examples for TopBox, and if I click on the example buttons, you can see the images load correctly. We've got support on this particular device for Retina images as well, So you should be able to see we get nice sharp images. And we've got support for mixed content as well. And in instances like this where the content is becoming cropped, if you just run your finger over the content, you can see we can still pan around and scroll the content within the actual lightbox. Got support for YouTube. So that's all working perfectly as well. So yeah, generally speaking, content you place within a TopBox stack will work equally as well on a device like the iPhone as it will on a normal desktop computer.